Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights, the podcast where we dive deep into the tools and strategies transforming AI development. I'm Alex, and today we're exploring a topic that's reshaping how enterprises actually work: Agentic AI Orchestration for enterprise workflows. Sam, we're pulling this straight from our latest deep dive guide focusing on Oulu and EU-wide implementations. This feels like a pretty significant shift from what most people think of as AI today.
Absolutely. And that's the key insight right out of the gate. Enterprises aren't looking for chatbots anymore. Gartner's data shows 65% of organizations are moving toward autonomous agents that can orchestrate complex, multi-step workflows. That's not incremental. That's a fundamental pivot from reactive systems to proactive, goal-driven ones. It's about agents that can perceive, plan, execute, and adapt, not just answer questions.
So we're talking about something that can actually do things, not just talk about doing things. That's a huge distinction. But I'm curious, when we say orchestration, what does that actually mean in practice? Is it just about coordinating multiple agents, or is there more to it?
It's both, but the more is critical. Orchestration is the intelligent coordination layer that manages multiple agents, workflows, and data flows simultaneously. Think of it like this. Instead of one AI model answering everything, you've got specialized agents working in concert. One handles customer data retrieval, another manages inventory, a third approves transactions, all routed intelligently and monitored in real time. The orchestration ensures they don't step on each other's toes.
That's a really clear mental model. So the real impact here, beyond just being technically interesting, is efficiency and cost, right? Because I saw something in your notes about Microsoft's data on manual workflow time reductions.
Exactly. Organizations adopting Agentic AI are seeing 40 to 60% reductions in manual workflow processing time. That translates directly to cost savings and faster decision cycles. But here's what matters for enterprises in Oulu and across the EU. They're also getting compliance and auditability built in from day one, which is non-negotiable under the EU AI Act.
That governance piece is huge, especially in Europe. Now, if I'm a manufacturing or logistics company in Oulu, I've got legacy systems, I've got new cloud stuff, maybe IoT sensors. How do these agents actually communicate across all that complexity?
That's where the Model Context Protocol, MCP, and agent-to-agent communication standards come in. They create standardized message formats so agents can talk to each other reliably, regardless of whether you're using open-source models or proprietary platforms. You get interoperability without building custom integration bridges for every system. It's architect's gold for mixed environments.
And I imagine that reduces vendor lock-in too, which is something European organizations care deeply about. But let's get concrete. What's actually enabling this technically? You mentioned AI agent SDKs and tool calling. Can you break that down for our listeners?
Sure. An AI agent SDK is basically a toolkit that standardizes how agents access and invoke external functions. Think of tool calling as the mechanism that lets agents actually do things. Not just generate text about doing them. They can call databases, hit APIs, read sensor data, execute business logic. It's the difference between an agent that says, "I would approve this transaction," and one that actually submits the approval to your ERP system.
That's the game changer. And IBM's data backs this up. 84% of enterprises using tool calling agents report improved accuracy and measurable ROI within 6 months. That's a huge number compared to rule-based automation.
Right. Rule-based automation gets you to maybe 34% showing ROI in the same time frame. The difference is that agentic systems can adapt and learn from context, not just execute predetermined paths. And that's where retrieval augmented generation, RAG, becomes essential.
RAG is everywhere in AI conversations now, but I think people often miss why it's specifically critical for enterprise workflows. What's the connection?
RAG is how agents ground their reasoning in authoritative data. In enterprise workflows, you can't have an agent making decisions in a vacuum. It needs to pull information from your knowledge bases, internal docs, compliance frameworks, real-time data sources. RAG ensures the agent is reasoning from actual enterprise context, not hallucinating. Combined with an evaluation framework, you can measure agent accuracy against your specific business requirements.
So the evaluation framework is about testing and validating that the agents are actually doing what you need them to do. And in a regulatory environment like the EU, that auditability is critical, right?
Absolutely. Every decision the agent makes needs to be traceable and explainable. That's not just a nice to have, it's a requirement under EU AI Act compliance. You need to know why an agent approved a loan or escalated a case or rejected an order. EtherDEV's approach builds that transparency into the orchestration framework from the ground up.
That's a really important distinction. Building compliance in from the start, rather than bolting it on later. So if I'm a CTO in Oulu thinking about implementing this, where do I even start? What's the practical first step?
Start by mapping your existing workflows and identifying which are the most repetitive or error-prone. Those are your quickest wins. Then assess your data sources and system integrations. Understand what your agents need to access. Finally, choose an orchestration platform that supports MCP standards and has strong evaluation frameworks. You want flexibility and auditability from day one.
And I imagine there's a learning curve here. You can't just deploy agents and expect everything to work perfectly immediately.
Not at all. Agentic systems require continuous monitoring and refinement. You're testing agent decisions against business outcomes, gathering feedback, and iteratively improving prompts and tool definitions. Think of it as building an AI product, not just deploying a model. The evaluation framework is your compass for that journey.
That makes sense. So this isn't a set-it-and-forget-it technology. It's something that evolves with your business. Final question for you. What do you see as the biggest mistake enterprises make when they jump into agentic AI?
Underestimating the importance of clear governance and evaluation from day one. Some organizations get excited about the automation potential and rush agents into production without proper auditing or fallback mechanisms. In EU markets especially, that's risky. You also see teams failing to invest in good data infrastructure and RAG systems, which means agents end up reasoning from poor quality inputs.
So it's really about doing the foundational work before the flashy automation stuff. I think that's a valuable reality check for our listeners. Sam, thanks for walking us through this. For everyone listening, if you want to dive deeper into the technical architecture, compliance requirements, and implementation strategies for agentic AI orchestration, especially if you're in Oulu or operating under EU regulations, head over to etherlink.ai and check out our full article. You'll find the complete guide with more implementation examples and best practices. Sam, thanks again.
Thanks, Alex. Great conversation. Listeners, agentic orchestration is the future of enterprise AI. Start thinking about it now.
That's all for this episode of EtherLink AI Insights. We'll be back next week with more deep dives into AI development, enterprise strategies, and emerging technologies. Until then, keep innovating responsibly.